One of the few black owners of a network. Musically, he's inspired the world for years. As a human being, he's had lots of conflict. He had Tupac's death, Biggie's death, all the drama. We had the shooting with J-Lo. Shine went to prison. Maybe he shouldn't have went to prison. There's always been these stories about Diddy being evil. I've heard he was the devil. I heard he was evil. He even once threatened me.
Another celebrity has joined the bandwagon to call Diddy out for the shady activities he's been up to in the past. American entertainment businessman and founder of Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee, recently exposed some more details about Diddy's wild parties. Jason didn't mince words when Cam Newton asked him about his relationship with Diddy on the Funky Friday interview. You may be wondering why Jason is caught in Diddy's mix. Well, as long as a celebrity has been spotted with Diddy at any gathering or has been to his wild parties, then there are dots to be connected.
Real relationship, I'm pretty sure you've built a relationship with him respectfully over the years of knowing who he is, what he represents.
Yeah.
Your show was on Revolt.
Yeah. I don't have a friendship with Diddy. He's not my friend. We don't hang out. We've texted a few times. I was on his network. I've been to many of his house parties.
There's the notion that everyone who has ever come into contact with Diddy probably knows about the things he's been doing behind closed doors. Yeah, that may not be completely accurate, but attending those parties definitely creates some sort of doubt. Unimaginable things have been rumored to be happening in the Combs empire. It even took a wild turn towards the end of March 2024. No one saw it coming that Diddy's homes would be raided. Diddy's homes weren't even only raided like a calm type of raid. The bad boy CEO's homes were turned upside down.
Rapper and mega producer Sean Diddy Combs' legacy has seemingly shattered since he's seemingly at the center of an ongoing federal sex trafficking probe.
This is the type of raid being conducted on heavy offenders of the law. Just like 50 Cent said after the raid, the feds don't just go after people unless there's something really out of line. Diddy's sons were even put in handcuffs during questioning, and his staff and people around the properties also got questioned. Anyway, Diddy was nowhere near his properties during the raids. Rumors later emerged that Diddy's homes were raided in connection to a serious trafficking case. Okay, that's truly out of line, as 50 had initially claimed. However, reports showed Diddy's private jet was flying out of the country hours before the raids. Did Diddy get a whiff of the raid and bolt out to save himself? Or had he just genuinely planned to be on vacation to the Caribbean? We may never be able to get answers to those questions anyway. Diddy was on the news for days concerning the raids. But what was interesting was that Diddy never spoke about it. He just acted like it didn't just happen.
In any event, but no direct commentary on the case is what any lawyer would tell their client to do. And so I would not expect him to comment on the case.
Diddy's attorney released a statement saying, "Yesterday there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities, or the way his children and employees were treated." Diddy's attorney, Aaron Dyer, also added, "There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs will continue to fight every single day to clear his name." The raids on Diddy's homes were next level, but he had already been dealing with a lot of serious issues before the raids came through. Cassie was the first significant bombshell Diddy had to deal with. In November 2023, Cassie put Diddy on the edge as she filed a public SA lawsuit accusing Diddy of some really incriminating crimes he had committed against her in the past. Cassie's court document narrates how Cassie met Diddy when she was 19 and Diddy was 37, as well as the traumatic events that followed their meeting. Cassie was a signee under Diddy's Bad Boy Records label, but the boss and employee contract soon turned into a romantic relationship, and that was the moment everything went to the carcass. Maybe not for Diddy, but for Cassie. Her life took a huge fallout from what she had always pictured or planned. Cassie accused Diddy of being an abuser in different circumstances, ranging from SA to DV, and even several mental relapses. Cassie mentioned how Diddy often used her as his firearms carrier. Cassie revealed that Diddy always kept his firearms in her bags or purses when they were stepping out. Let's dot on that firearms carrier a little bit. It seems Diddy allows his girlfriends to tag along when he's stepping out for the sole purpose of making them help him tuck his weapons in their lady purses. Y'all remember he allegedly did the same thing with J-Lo during the 1999 shooting nightclub incident? Several reports claimed J-Lo also used to assist Diddy to perform the same task. But no one knows if J-Lo used to be coerced to do so like Cassie. Back to Cassie's lawsuit. It went viral and put Diddy in trouble within a twinkle of an eye. But Diddy couldn't make that stick. So within a day of the lawsuit coming to light, Diddy opted to settle out of court, which he did without hesitation. Diddy didn't know that was just the beginning of the serious woes that he would have to be dealing with. A couple of other SA lawsuits followed Cassie's lawsuit. Diddy was exposed to the public in a very demeaning manner. The Bad Boy Records CEO later had to speak up in December 2023, saying that he had had enough and would do anything to prove that everything was lies, and he wasn't guilty of those allegations. Oh well, Diddy's statement didn't have much effect because Cat Williams set the whole thing on fire in January 2024 when he went on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Cat fired at Diddy and a long list of other celebrities, saying that they were evil and not as innocent as they had portrayed themselves to appear. Cat specifically called out Diddy, but it still wasn't the end of Diddy's social media hate. Things got really messy for Diddy when a producer he had worked with in the past, Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod, sued Diddy. Lil Rod's suit wouldn't have held much weight if not for the jaw-dropping information he included in the lawsuit court document. Lil Rod accused Diddy of a lot of things. The public already knew about some, while the public was left in shock by the other half of the revelations. Lil Rod gave people on social media a lot to discuss after his lawsuit against Diddy read how Diddy had SA'd him during their course of working together on Diddy's album. Lil Rod claimed Diddy frequently harassed him sexually, even when Diddy knew he was a heterosexual man. Lil Rod opened up on how he had endured the abuse from Diddy till they were done working on the album. However, there were more secrets Lil Rod had about Diddy that he uncovered in the lawsuit. Lil Rod exposed Diddy's wild activities during his infamous Wild House parties. Lil Rod was stuck with staying in Diddy's house for over a year, which made him witness the unnerving activities that went down during those parties, and even on some regular days. Lil Rod claimed Diddy and his friends were into trafficking, drug distribution, and unethical use of S-workers. Oh, that wasn't everything. Lil Rod also mentioned how Diddy had always bragged about J-Lo assisting him to carry his firearms into clubs and other places. So, talking about men Diddy has slept with, Lil Rod took it up a notch as he revealed some men whom Diddy had always talked about having sexual relationships with. In the court document, where the information was redacted, the document says Diddy had slept with a Philadelphia rapper who had dated Nicki Minaj in the past, and also a male R&B singer who recently completed a Las Vegas residency. At the time Lil Rod's lawsuit came up, Usher was the only male R&B singer who had just completed the Las Vegas residency and was talking about a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Everyone knows that's none other than Meek Mill. So, the puzzle wasn't so much of a big deal as the public solved it real quick. While still on the subject of men Diddy has slept with, there's still the Orlando Brown story and YK Osiris, and we shouldn't forget about Justin Bieber's story about Diddy grooming him too. It's a whole lot to unravel, but when it's about Diddy, there's always more. Diddy's wild parties have been the benchmark for where unimaginable illicit activities happen. However, Diddy has still been involved in some gut-wrenching activities outside of those parties. There are stories about people around Diddy mysteriously dying from weird or unexpected causes of death, starting with Kim Porter, the mother of his kids. It's only in another life that Diddy will be able to wash himself squeaky clean that he wasn't involved in Kim Porter's sudden death.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
According to the coroner, Kim's cause of death was pneumonia. But something is just not right, at least according to Jaguar Wright. Jaguar keeps telling the public there's more to the story. Kim was supposed to release a tell-all book about Diddy's shady dealings over the years, but she mysteriously wound up dead. That's not as shocking as some other people who used to be close to Diddy, who suffered the same fate of suddenly dying of heart attacks or cardiac arrests. It's a bit sketchy. But if we tilt a little bit away from people, Diddy was closer to dying weirdly. We will be talking about the legendary Tupac's death. Most people may remember Tupac's death as a tragic drive-by shooting. But years later, after it happened, the story seems to be deeper than that.
So I want to backtrack. You said that you was on top of the world until you met Puffy. What you mean by that?
Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man.
Keefe D had much to say about the tragic event, and Keefe D's major story highlight involves Diddy's name. Keefe D revealed that Diddy had called the shots that led to the heartbreaking event. Keefe's story narrated how Diddy wasn't comfortable with Tupac's Hit 'Em Up diss track against him and his group. So Diddy, unable to tolerate their rap beef then, took the feud to a different level, hereby pledging he would pay a huge amount of money to wipe Tupac off the surface of the earth. Keefe D, who had always belonged to the Southside Crips gang, later revealed that he and his gang never got the payment for the job done after Tupac's death. But that's like Diddy's pattern of handling things. Lil Rod also mentioned how Diddy had paid him a measly amount of $21,000 for a job he had dedicated over a year of his life to, and even had to face the worst possible moments of his life in the process. After Lil Rod's $30 million lawsuit sparked outrage on social media, Diddy's attorney called Lil Rod a liar who was just looking for a quick payday. Maybe because Lil Rod didn't belong to any gang, Diddy could allow his lawyers to say that about him, but he couldn't dare to do the same to Keefe D. Diddy and his attorneys just acted like they didn't know what Keefe D was talking about and never responded to his allegation. Right now, there are strings of several allegations attached to Diddy's name. Diddy is getting dragged for trafficking, his sexual preference, grooming and predator acts, drug distribution, and many other things. It's just a matter of time before Diddy may be living within the four corners of jail. Except he knows how to play his way out of this mess he's in right now. But how? This mess seems to be deeper and crazier than anything Diddy has ever been caught up in before. We will just have to see how this one plays out. So, do you think Diddy will figure his way out of this situation like he has always done? Or do you think Diddy has nowhere to run this time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any celebrity news updates.